This video shows the making of this illustration. This is the second in a series on the classical elements. The first, fire, was done in pen and ink, as you see here. The second was done using Scratchboard. Earth and wind have yet to be created, so stay tuned. Here's how this drawing came about. In Photoshop, I began by drawing water and water shapes. As you can see here, I imported a photo and spent some time looking at how those water shapes formed. I simplified them to some degree, but I had a general idea with this sketch of what I wanted the water to look like as it surrounded the chair. But as you can see, I also explored some other splash type shapes. Some of them I used reference, some were just out of my head. You can see I also started off with some very rough posing. When you see these rough sketches off to the side like that, you have to understand that I drew those when they were at this scale. I find it very useful to draw very small, especially when I'm in the ideation phase. One of those small shapes was this figure drawing in a chair here. This sketch started off as a very small sketch drawn into the corner of my Photoshop file. But I had already done an illustration in this series that used almost the exact same pose. So again, very small, I drew off into the corner. This small arrangement showed the figure seated a little bit differently, facing a different direction. And again, this was drawn at an extremely small size. Probably something like about that size. But once I had that rescaled, I created a new layer over top of it, and using the very rough sketch underneath, started to develop something that refined the form a little bit more. It was this that I eventually printed out and then copied onto tracing paper for my working drawing. I have a step-by-step video that talks about the actual technique of working with Scratchboard. I'll put a link in the description below.